Right, morning, Alan.
Morning.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and your business, please.
Okay, my name's Alan Deering. I'm a metallurgist by training. Worked in aerospace for over 20 years and set up a business 13 years ago as a consultant metallurgist, initially on my own. And now we've sort of developed the business. There's now 7 of us. A mixture of mechanical engineers and metallurgists, and providing expert witness facilities for the courts, but also working for various insurance companies and some of the or several of the local engineering companies, the health and safety executive, both north and south of the border. So.
All right. I'm going to take a wild punt that a lot of people won't know what a metallurgist is. So can you explain a little bit on that for us, please?
Well, I did, as I said, a degree in metallurgy a long time ago. It's really looking at materials and metals in terms of their microstructural makeup, their chemical analysis, and looking at welding and corrosion and failure. We do a lot of failure analysis, or a lot of microscope work to try and determine why something has broken or failed that perhaps has caused an accident. So it's metallurgy is getting down into the real nitty-gritty of the metal and the material itself on the microscopic level. Okay,
that sounds fascinating. And what would you say? What were your biggest learnings in business and in life?
I suppose sort of have a go. And sort of persist on with it. I suppose that would be because I left a good job in aerospace and just literally walked away from it and had a go at this, and I'm glad I did 13, 14 years ago. So I think that would be one thing, just have a go as opposed to look back and regret that you haven't had a go. So yeah.
All right. And who's been the best coach you've ever had?
Oh gosh, coach. Always, sure. I had a very good sort of mentor, I suppose, at Shorts or Bombardier as it was then, and I suppose he was good in terms of sort of making me learn and making me take on responsibilities, and he was very good to me, making me sort of persist with things. You know.
Do you have any favorite quotes or sayings?
Gosh, I suppose one is don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great. That was Rockefeller. I suppose just it's coming back to the theme right from the start. That, you know, I would rather have had a go at something and not succeeded than sort of not had a go at it at all. So I think that's probably a favorite quote of mine at the minute.
Well, like I use that one myself. Better to have loved than lost. Yeah,
no, exactly. Yeah, because when I was handed in my notice at the previous job, which I say was a good, well-paid job. My director at the time sort of said, you know, it's a bit, you know, really, and that's what I said to him. I would rather have a go and not succeed than look back in 20, 30 years time and say, well, I should have had a go at that, and what would have happened, you know. So yeah.
Very good. Very good. And what have you learned about yourself during your journey?
I suppose I'm better now at sort of believing in myself than I was maybe, and I'm probably more tenacious than I thought I was going to be in terms of getting the things that I want to try and get out of this. So what I probably learned is I probably get more stressed than I thought I would as well. So I'm just managing that, I suppose.
And what would you say what's the biggest challenge that you currently face in your business?
It's probably the work-life balance thing, which a lot of younger engineers seem to be, you know, that seems to be a focus thing coming out of university now, that they need to look at that, and that's probably, I would agree with that, because I find that difficult to get that balance at the minute. So.
And how do you address that? How do you address the work-life balance? What works for you?
Trying to get the weekends off, I suppose. I try to do that as much as I can, I suppose. So I'm trying to sort of delegate a bit more of the work that's on. So.
And what advice? What would you say to anyone that's thinking of going into business?
Probably have a go. As I said, coming back to that, always, you know, it's better to have had a go than not to have had a go, and then regret having not taking that sort of chance or risk, you know. So that would be it. And stick with your ambitions.
And if you started your business again, if you could go back to when you left Shorts and started the business, is there anything you would do differently?
Gosh, probably try and sort of delegate more at the start than I did. Other than that, I don't really know what I would do different. No, I think I did it. I often think maybe I should have done it earlier, but then I probably didn't have the experience to do it earlier. So, you know, I think I'm probably okay with how I did it. So.
And what do you do whenever you're not working? Then you say about trying to get weekends off, etc. What do you do? How do you fill your time?
I sort of fitter and work at old vintage cars, and that's what I do. So it's still engineering related, but I also try and cycle and get some time with the family. I have grandchildren now, so it's trying to get some family time around that as well. So yeah.
Very good. No, that sounds fascinating. So look, thanks very much for your time. You know, Alan Deering of Radmet Consulting, really interesting business and a great story. So thanks very much.